The Vermont General Assembly is the legislative body of the state of Vermont in the United States. The legislature is formally known as the General Assembly, but the style of legislature is commonly used, including by the body itself. The General Assembly is a bicameral legislature consisting of the 150-member Vermont House of Representatives and the 30-member Vermont Senate. Members of the House are elected by single and two-member districts. 68 districts choose one member, and 41 choose two, with the term of service being 2 years. The Senate includes 30 senators, elected by 7 single-member and 9 multi-member districts with 2 or 3 members each. It is the only state legislative body in the United States in which a third party has had continuous representation and been consecutively elected alongside Democrats and Republicans. The Vermont General Assembly meets at the Vermont State House in the state capital of Montpelier. Biennial terms commence on the Wednesday following the first Monday in January. The 2024 term begins on Monday, January 8, 2024. Legislative elections are held in November of every even-numbered year. Representatives and senators serve 2-year terms. One must be a resident of the state for the 2 years, and of the legislative district for the 1 year immediately preceding the election in order to qualify for either house. The House is headed by the Speaker of the House, while the Senate is headed by the state's Lieutenant Governor as the Senate President. The Senate President has only a casting vote. More often the Senate is presided over by the President pro tempore, who is chosen at the start of each session. The legislature is empowered to make law, subject to the governor's power to veto a bill. However, the veto may be overridden by the legislature if there is a 2/3 majority in favor of overriding in each chamber. The legislature has the sole power to propose amendments to the Constitution of Vermont. An amendment must originate in the Senate, where it must receive a 2/3 vote. After passing the Senate, it must also receive a majority vote in the House. Any amendment that passes both houses must be repassed by majority votes, after a newly elected legislature is seated. Again, first in the Senate, then in the House. The proposed amendment must then be passed by a majority of the state's voters at a referendum. Only every other Senate session may initiate the amendment process. Thus, Senates elected in off-year non-presidential elections may initiate amendments, but not Senates elected during presidential elections.